What is going on, my beautiful brothers? It is your boy BetSam, and we are headed to Shanghai, China for a battle of the bantamweights. In the main event, we have Umar Nurmagomedov looking to cement his claim for another title shot by going up against fellow bantamweight top 10 Song Yadong, China's own. It's going to be a fun card, guys. Let's crack into it. First fight of the night, we have Ming taking on Cam Nelson. This is a battle of the hometown guy with all the experience against the young up-and-comer with the shiny record. Look, Ming, he's been around the block, right? There's no surprise that's going to come from what Cam Nelson brings that Ming hasn't seen, but that doesn't mean that Cam Nelson can't get past him here. Ming is an aggressive striker who has a wealth of kickboxing experience. He's been around forever, even though he's only 32 years old. Believe me, he has an entire lifetime of experience. What he doesn't have in his physical attributes, he makes up for in his tenacious approach, in his willingness to go forward, and his willingness to exchange in combination. His opponent, Cam Nelson, is an athletic striker who has grappling abilities as well. Shiny record of 7-1, but again, is very untested. Cam Nelson is a Canadian prospect that hasn't really beaten anybody of any real substance, but here he is making his UFC debut, half a planet away in Shanghai, China, up against Ming. Is he going to be able to get past it? I'm going to say yes, okay? And this one wasn't an easy one for me. Ming is a fighter that I wanted to support in this spot, and he may still be able to come up with it, but when I went to the tape to see what Ming was about, I was shocked to see he has 28 knockouts because the way he fights isn't conducive of finding those knockouts, especially not what we've seen in his recent run. He has wins over some solid competition for sure, but perhaps the best days of Ming are behind him. I'm going to say that Cam Nelson is going to go out here. It's a big step up in competition, but at underdog pricing, I'm down to take a swing at the Canadian. Give me Cam Nelson to win this fight. As for a method of victory goes, I think he's going to knock Ming out, but we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. We have Jong, the Panda, taking on Julia Pastri. This is a women's strawweight bout. Jong is having her second performance in the UFC after her initial debut didn't go so well. She went out there against Angela Hill and got smoked just a couple of months ago. Now she takes on an easier litmus test against Julia Pastri. I still don't think the step down is going to be far enough for Jong. In her performance against Angela Hill, there were just glaring holes in her defense, in her game plan, in her approach. I think she just isn't a UFC level fighter at this point in her career. Almost 39 years old. I think she's still on these cards because, she's a big draw for the Chinese people and they're excited to put her on cards in China. I'm going to take Julia Pastri here. It's not because I think Julia is a phenomenal fighter, but Julia is a pretty well-rounded girl. She's pretty tenacious. She's good everywhere. Brazilian, she's got that grappling in her back pocket if she needs it off of her back. I'm going to take Julia Pastri here. I think she can win this fight by decision, submission, or knockout. The most likely outcome, I think, is going to be a Julia Pastri decision, maybe a 29-28 across the board. And we got New Zealand's own Louie taking on Hector Santiago. Look, Louie trains at a city kickboxing, but he is a grappler. He will shoot. He's basically New Zealand's own Merab Dvalishvili. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the same resume. He doesn't have the same success rate, but he will shoot 1 million takedowns. He has good cardio. He has good endurance. And he has good durability. That last one is probably the most important aspect of all because he gets hit. The boy does get hit, but he powers through. He shows that he's got a heart. I'm taking Louie here against Hector Santiago, who is taking this fight, UFC debut, half a world away. He's got striking, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with the grappling and the grappling pressure that Louie is about to push here. Hector Santiago has real one-shot knockout power, but we've seen Louie eat shit before and just push through it, and I expect him to do the same here. Give me Louie to win this fight via submission. It's going to be his first career submission. And we've got Jack Jenkins taking on Sean Woodson. This is the battle of Jack Skellington against a regular human being. Sean Woodson is 6'2" with a 78-inch reach at featherweight. The guy is a monster, okay? He is incredibly long. He looks like an alien, gigantic head, big fists. The rest of him, just teeny tiny little legs. He's going to have a 10-inch reach advantage. It's going to be the jab of Woodson versus those low kicks and the grappling of Jack Jenkins. I'm going to say that Jack Jenkins gets the better of the exchanges. I think he can deal with the jab of Sean Woodson, and then when he lands those leg kicks, I expect him to cripple Sean Woodson with them. Give me Jack Jenkins here. It's been a little while for both of these fighters, so hard to know if we're going to get the best version of either of them. I'm going with, not the hometown guy because Jack Jenkins is Australian and I'm from New Zealand, but I'm going to go for my local neighbor, the Australian. Give me Jack Jenkins to win this fight via knockout, beginning with a sequence from low kicks. Then we have my boy Long Zhao back at it again after what was honestly a robbery against Cody Garbrandt. Long Zhao is a fun and active striker and grappler. He possesses threats on all levels. He's taking on Francisco Nuzi, who is a kickboxer. He's primarily a kickboxer. He's looking to kickbox. He is coming into the UFC on short notice here to take on Long Zhao. I expect Long Zhao to make a mess out of this individual. I expect him to come in here, go full retard, and just send it at this dude for all 15 minutes or less. I'm going to take Long Zhao to win. As far as a method of victory goes, I'm going to go against the grain here. The vast majority of people are picking Zhao by submission. I'm going to say he knocks him out. I'm going to say he gets in the face of Francisco Nuzi. Maybe catches a kick and swings at the same time. Long Zhao is aggressive. He is willing, and he will throw while you throw. I'm taking Long Zhao here. Give me Long Zhao by KO. And we got Reya taking on the Black Cock, Kevin Bouras. Now, if you guys didn't know, El Gallo Negro literally means the Black Rooster. So that's what we're talking about there. Reya coming in off of a fantastic bounce-back victory over Louie Gourlay. Kevin Bouras on his own little victory there as he defeated the hype prospect that was Andre Lima, who we'll talk about here shortly. Reya, honestly, his only blemish on his record is solely his lone loss, Joshua Van. In that fight, he shot 1 million takedowns, and Josh Van's takedown defense just held up. I think he's gone away and upgraded the tools, sharpened up the striking, made himself a little bit physically stronger, and I think we're going to see the greatest version that Reya has ever built. At 24 years young, he's still well within the improvement window, and I think he's going to run through Kevin Bouras. I think he finishes him by submission, and I'm going to go one step further and say he wins by submission in the very first round. Give me Reya, round 1, submission. And we have Andre Lima taking on Namsai Batbay. Andre Lima is coming off his first career loss to none other than Kevin Bouras. He is now coming back here. He's pissed off. He's looking to make a claim for himself, and he's taking on UFC newcomer Namsai Batbay. Namsai Batbay will look to fight Andre Lima, and I think that's going to be his detriment. And when I say that, I mean that he will come forward, he will throw everything, and he will be there to be hit. Andre Lima has a fantastic jab, a beautiful low kick, and if you are just going to come at him without too much tactical thought about it, that will work perfectly into his game plan. Where he struggled in his last fight was Kevin Bouras was kiting around the outside of the octagon, trying to do anything other than actually engage with Andre Lima, and that kind of frustrated him, threw him off his game plan, and the fight was kind of playing out weird as well. I'm going to take Andre Lima here. I think he makes good on the return after the loss, and last time it was more of a lesson than a loss for him, so give me Andre Lima to make good here. I still think he's a very bright prospect in the future of this division. Speaking of bright prospects, we have Bolal Hassan, the Indo Ninja. He's coming in here, and he is absolutely the heavy favorite, sitting at a minus 500 heavy favorite. But let me paint you a little picture. This young gentleman just made weight 2 weeks ago on the Dana White's Contender Series. Now he's taking on Nilson Rojas. Nilson Rojas hasn't fought since over a month ago. Now, it's soon enough that I think he's going to still be in fighting shape, but he hasn't had to cut weight as recently as Bolal Hassan. He's Peruvian, he's incredibly durable, and I think Bolal Hassan might be biting off a little bit more than he can chew. This isn't the case of Anthony Wint, where he is, he fought on the Contender Series, won in the first minute, and now he's doing it again. Anthony Wint doesn't cut weight, right? There's no weight cut for Anthony Wint. He's in the 265-pound division. He weighs like 230-something. So there's no weight cut there. For Bolal Hassan, this is 2 weight cuts in 2 weeks, and I think it could be too much, man. If he doesn't get Nilson Rojas out of there in the first round, which he is well within his capabilities of doing so, then Nilson Rojas might build into this fight, and Bolal Hassan might end up in a war that he was not prepared for. So I'm going to take Nilson Rojas. This is an odds play for me, man. Nilson Rojas, he's a capable boxer. He hasn't dealt with somebody like a Bolal Hassan before, but 9-0 versus 9-0. I don't know that somebody deserves to be a minus 500 favorite in this matchup here. So So I'm going to take the dog here. Give me the Peruvian. Let's go. El Rayo Nilson Rojas. Levi Rodriguez Jr. taking on Silu. I'm going with the Oriental Dragon, guys. Levi Rodriguez Jr., baby monster, is a big Brazilian who is coming off of that loss to Felipe Franco, where he came in after the steroids, couldn't deal with the grappling, and then got pounded out. Now, Silu is a big, experienced kickboxer with a Giga Chad jaw. I think Silu is going to land low kicks. I think he can deal with the shots coming back his way from Levi Rodriguez. And then I think ultimately the accumulation of those leg kicks and damage, he will find a knockout. I'm going to say Silu finds a round 2 KO, accumulation of damage after Levi Rodriguez has a couple of big bursts early. He packs it in and calls it a day. Give me Silu to win by knockout. Then we have Alex Perez and Sumidari in a rematch. This fight, if you guys did not know, took place just 2 months ago, where Alex Perez faked throwing up into a bucket after receiving a low blow from Sumidari. The UFC said, nah, you ain't ducking that fade. Let's rebook the exact same matchup in China. Sumidari is going to come in here. He's going to pick up where he left off. He's going to have left that last fight with a whole bucket of confidence here. I think Alex Perez is at the tail end of his career, and we already saw what this fight looks like. So I have to pick Sumidari here. I think he wins this fight by a damage-based decision. Alex Perez, he's dangerous in the first round. He could chin Sumidari in the first round. I don't think he's going to. Give me Sumu by decision. Then we have Arii Lang taking on Kaio Sakura. And this fight is simple, okay? Arii Lang doesn't move his head. Now, at points in time, you'll see him doing this, right? But when he goes to throw a strike, like let's say he's going to throw a right hand here, he's moving. As soon as he wants to throw, he's back up where he was, and he throws with his head in the center line. The head movement doesn't flow with the striking, so I think Kaio Sakura should be able to read that. And as soon as Arii Lang postures up to throw anything back, Kaio Sakura is going to be faster, he's going to be more accurate, and I think he can knock Arii Lang out. Now, Kaio Sakura is one of the fastest bantamweights that we have ever seen. And I say that statement with a lot of intent behind it. And speed kills in these weight classes. Arii Lang has already shown a susceptibility to being knocked out. We've seen it multiple times. He's coming off of a knockout loss. He was on his way to getting knocked out by Daniel Marcos. Prior to that, we've seen him KO'd before in the past as well by Ayman Zahabi, I believe. So Kaio Sakura, very capable of getting that knockout. Give me Kaio Sakura to win this fight by knockout. Can't wait to see it. We have Yan Xiaonan taking on Denise Gomes. Now, a sneaky little birdie told me, and that birdie doesn't exist, it's just what's happening in my brain here, is Yan Xiaonan is probably going to retire here. Now, she's 37 years old. This fight is taking place in China. I think she's kind of gone as far as she's going to go within this division. And I expect her to retire, win or loss in this fight here. And I'm thinking it's going to be a loss. I think Denise Gomes, much younger, much more tenacious, much more capable of a grappler, and much bigger power. So Denise Gomes, she's going to feel what Yan Xiaonan's dishing out there and go, oh, okay, that's it? That little ha-ha, ha-ha, ha-ha. No. Denise Gomes is going to be the pick here. I think it's crazy that she's the underdog. Maybe it's that homer bias. Maybe people are holding on to past performances. But even in this win here against Tabitha Ricci, she landed about 100 strikes on Tabitha Ricci and barely bruised her up. If Denise Gomes puts hands and feet on you, you're going to know about it. Give me Denise Gomes to win this fight. And I think she can win it by damage-based decision. Main event time! We have Umar Nurmagomedov taking on the Kung Fu Kid that is Song Yadong. Not my dong, not your dong, Song Yadong. Now, Umar Nurmagomedov, obviously, he is part of that camp from Abdul Manap, Khabib Nurmagomedov's father, part of that father's plan, part of that legacy. And he has had a near flawless run. The only hiccup, Rab Dvalishvili, almost 2 years ago. Since then, picked up a win against Mario Bautista, picked up a win against Davison Figueiredo. This win, a bit of a gimme win. Davison Figueiredo over the hill. Now he takes on Song Yadong. This is where shit gets real, okay? Song Yadong, for all of his flaws, is a very strong fighter. He hits incredibly hard. He is very fast, and he throws everything to every shot. If Umar Nurmagomedov does not mind his P's and Q's, he could end up getting knocked out here. I'm going to say that doesn't happen. I'm going to say Umar Nurmagomedov makes good on his refreshed run here, goes on to win this fight, and position himself, honestly, to be the next title contender. I would like to see Umar Nurmagomedov push on the gas here, try and find a finish, not just get a victory. A decision victory doesn't really move me here against Song Yadong. If he can find a finish on Song Yadong, however, I think that might move the needle. As far as a fan, guys, as a fan, I would prefer to see Song Yadong win this fight. I would love to see a Song Yadong win here in China. I'll be rooting for him. But as far as the pick goes, you've got to go with Umar Nurmagomedov here. My method of victory here is going to be an Umar Nurmagomedov win by decision. He could find a finish, but Umar, especially when fights get later, he just starts to try to win rounds rather than trying to finish fights. So give me Umar to win this fight via decision. Guys, that is the breakdown. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being here. I appreciate everyone that's been a part of the journey. And if you guys are excited about this weekend's fights, Artem MMA and I will be live streaming the road to UFC, the UFC, and some content in between. Stay tuned. Keep your notifications enabled because your boy BetSam is going to be pumping out a lot of content this weekend. I love you all and can't wait to see you all in the live streams. And if you want to unlock my official plays, the link is in the description of this video. It is code BetSam for 10% off. Sign up today or regret it tomorrow. I'll see you all in the next one.